How's it going, everybody? It's Carpo. Thought this might be a nice backdrop for the subject matter of this particular video. Hope you can hear me okay over the stream. Mother Nature. She's no joke. I guess I'll show you around first before we start the video. Got a couple streams coming in up here. Splitting off into two over here. My campsite is just down there through the woods a ways. It's a nice little place. And every time I come out here, it's learning to speak the language of the woods again. And the language of the woods is a different language than we're used to, and or at least that we're accustomed to in city life. Those who live closer to nature are more accustomed to the hearing the stories of the babbling brook or the bird. And whenever I'm wandering through the woods, I'm always thinking of our ancestors. And one of the thoughts that was just occurring to me, looking around at everything and thinking of how nice it is to get away for a couple days. Yet still remembering that even though for city life we want to escape and get back to nature, we laugh at ourselves for what we've created, this mess that we've got ourselves into. Because we realize that we want to get back to nature. The question is, do we really want to get back to nature? Our ancestors, all they wanted was to make their life easier. And the first of them to learn how to grow their own food, whether it be given to them as knowledge or they learned it themselves, it's irrelevant where the knowledge came from. It becomes more relevant the fact that we wanted the knowledge, we used the knowledge. We learned how to ranch and farm, and it gave us more time to do more things. And we were under the impression that once we had all this time to do these things, that we would create these magnificent cities and these tributes to existence, and like every empire, the end result is a tribute to greed, a tribute to selfishness. And we don't have to see it completely that way. Not everything in society really is that bad, and that's kind of what I'm trying to, my aim here is to say that it's not so bad. You know, the things that the system that we've created needs reformation, we know this, but we should give credit where credit is due to our ancestors for creating many of the conditions that allowed us to live, many of the ways we do today, where people can still choose to live close to the earth, using very little, yet have a very energy efficient home, get out into the woods to travel and to do things and to visit nature, to have our own organic gardens, and to just be part of it all. And so I guess my whole message, in short, is don't be discouraged. You know, we as individuals can look at today and say, "Oh my God, I have no freedoms. I can't go out and find my own land and just do what I want to do. I feel so trapped. I feel like there's all these laws preventing me from doing what I want to do." Or we can say, hey, 100 years from now, the laws could be much worse. The people might look back on today and say, those were the days. I was talking to my wife and I was saying, when I was driving down the road and I was saying, how back in the day, you could drive past a cop going, say, 100 miles an hour and, just end up ditching you. And if he didn't catch you, well, he didn't catch you. He's not going to call it in and bust you down the road with like 10 other cops at gunpoint. Not generally. I'm talking like back in the 50s and 60s, I talked to a lot of people who would like race cops. Then he'd pull over and wait for the cop. The cop would start talking about the engine and whatnot. So what I'm saying is times change. By the same perspective, looking today, it might seem like we're more trapped into the speed limit, but I was looking at the roadside markers and saying to my wife that imagine one day where every time you speed, there will be cameras every, 3-5 miles or something that, or a consistent tracking system that tickets you every time you go over the speed limit, or every time you make an illegal turn or whatnot. It's kind of a long way of saying that things could be much worse and things could be much more controlled, and that right now could be the nostalgic good old days. The time where we have the technology to do the things that we want as individuals, the ability to order psychedelics off the internet, the ability to talk with people in another country, the ability to have materials and products that help us to carry a small backpack full of stuff that can help us survive in nature for weeks at a time. All of these things help us to enjoy life. So if we do have the spare time, we might as well make the most of it. So I guess that's what I'm saying is, since we have this spare time, since we work to play, so to speak, make that play the best it can be. I don't know, I'm rambling on. I guess I bid you all adieu. I'm going to wander on down the trail. Maybe we'll pack it up here, hike up and see what's up. Take you with me on this little journey. If I can get the camera set. There we go. So I came up here with my family. This is the second time we've been up here. I figure I'll do this video now. We came up here about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and stayed at this campsite up here. And when we came back today, there were some people staying up at the other campsite up the way. And when I walked by, we went on this walk up the street, and I saw this lady. She was out wandering through the woods looking at stuff like us. And I walked past her husband, and he's over there in a tie-dye, like me, long-haired guy in a tie-dye painting a picture. And so I said hi and walked by. And as we were walking back by, the wife started talking to us, and she said that she asked us questions about like our camp down there, where we're staying, if it was dirty, and or if there was anything weird about it. And we said no. She said that they were down here about 3 weeks ago, and there was a group of people who were staying in these campsites. This whole area was full of people. There were people down here, up there, up there. They were all over the place. Little, like, groups of 2 to 4 in these campsites. She said that they had this thing called, what was it? The Feast of, God, what was it? Damn, I can't believe I can't remember it right now. I'll remember it and I'll try to type it in the description. Where they would just go around and like scream in the woods. They had these little ceremonies where they would walk up and down these little processions with candles up in the woods. And she said they even had this big old pentagram, and that they were doing these little chants and all this stuff. So it was kind of weird because this was like an hour ago she told us this. And they were centralized basically at the camp that we're staying at. So she said she was walking around purifying the woods. And I said, well, I'll do the same thing. Keep an eye out for anything weird. And I saw these strange tags hanging from these trees. And I found one earlier, and then it all made sense. There was this one tag, and it had an eye on one side and a skull on the other side, and a number 1 or a letter I. And I found another tag too. I'm keeping an eye out for them, but I'm pulling them down and throwing them in the fire pit. I want to purify any type of bad vibes from this place. Because this is Mount Adams. This is the Mount Adams Wilderness. In fact, to be specific, I am in the Panther Creek Wilderness. To be more specific, I'm in the Wind River Experimental Forest Panther Creek Division. It's a really cool place. Purify that shit. Anyway, I'm out. Have a good day.